Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video, country style pork ribs. Welcome to the channel. If you're looking for authentic Cajun and Creole recipes, some good old down-home comfort food, and just about anything for that matter, then you're in the right place. And today we're looking at country-style pork ribs. Now, I'm not exactly sure why they call these ribs, because they're actually slices of a pork shoulder. Now, sometimes you will find it to where it has some of that pork loin meat on it, and you can tell the difference by the color. Now, the pork shoulder is going to have more of a deep reddish color, and when you get into that loin meat, it's a very light red, like a pinkish color, right? Like a pork chop. Or if you've ever cooked a pork tenderloin, same thing. Now, when I go to the store and I'm looking for country style pork ribs, I'm looking for that red shoulder meat. I don't want the loin meat, because that loin part of it will dry out. Just like a pork chop, pork tenderloin, if you cook them too long, if you cook them over, let's say 145 or over 165, they will get super dry. So when you're looking for pork country style ribs, you want to make sure you get that dark red shoulder meat. All right, now what we're going to do is going to go ahead and throw these on the grill. We're going to smoke them, and then we're going to braise them, and then we're going to sauce them, and they're going to be delicious. Without any further ado, let's get to the kitchen so I can show you what I'm talking about. Here are the ingredients that we're going to be using for this cook today. I will leave the full recipe in the description box below. All right, you want to go ahead and get these well seasoned. I'm going to start off by sprinkling, a little seasoning over the top of these, and we're going to flip them over. We want to make sure we season all sides of these pork ribs. And then I'm just going to let them sit for about 30 minutes while we get our smoker up to temp. Now that we have our pork ribs seasoned up, I'm going to get my smoker ready. Now I'm using a Masterbuilt Gravity Series 800. Now you can use any smoker, it'll work just fine. What I'm using today is a little bit of hickory wood, and that's going to get a nice bold smoke flavor on these pork ribs. And then I'm going to set it to 275, and then we'll come back when it's ready to go. Our smoker has come up to 275, and now we're going to place these country style ribs on the top and middle rack. Alright, it's been about an hour and a half and we still have a ways to go. I just wanted to show you what we have going on here. Now, we're going to smoke these until they come up to an internal temperature of about 165. And I'm guessing we'll have another 2 hours to go before we get there. It's been almost 4 hours and we're hitting around that 165 degree internal temperature. Now we're going to remove these pork ribs and place them into an aluminum foil pan. And now we're going to add a combination of 1 cup of apple juice, 1 cup of beer, 2 teaspoons of a powdered chicken bouillon, and 1 tablespoon of hot sauce. We're also going to add about a half a stick of butter that we cut up into small cubes. Cover this in aluminum foil, put it back on the smoker, and just let it braise until it becomes nice and tender. Alright, now that our country ribs are braising, we're going to go ahead and get our sauce ready. I have a saucepan on medium heat, and I'm going to add 2 cups of bourbon to this. Now once the bourbon's in there, we're going to bring this up to a simmer, and we're just going to let this simmer for about 5 minutes, just long enough for the alcohol to cook out of it. Now that we let the alcohol simmer out of this bourbon, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of honey. We're going to give this a quick mix and just let this simmer for a couple of minutes so that honey and bourbon can come together. Alright, we've let this simmer and you can tell this is reduced by about half. We've concentrated those complex flavors of the bourbon with the honey, and now we're going to add an entire bottle of Mad Moose BBQ's original barbecue sauce. I will leave links in the description box below so you can get you some of this sauce. It's excellent, and this recipe is really made for a sauce that is very tangy, you know, vinegar heavy and spicy. All right, if you're using like a Sweet Baby Ray's or something, then you don't want to add as much honey as I did, but you want to find something that's very tangy, spicy, and this recipe will work just fine. If not, go ahead and grab you a bottle of that Mad Moose BBQ sauce. Alright, our sauce is done. Now it's time to check on these ribs. Now I'm going to go ahead and probe these, and I'm not really paying attention to temperature. I'm just looking to see how smooth that probe goes in and out of each rib, because I'm checking for tenderness. Now they are probing at about 200, maybe a little bit above, and at that temperature they are going to be tender, but I'm really going on feel here. It's time to pull these off and get them ready for the next step. Alright, so like I said earlier, it's all about the feel. You want your thermometer to go in and out of that rib like it's softened butter. And that's what we have here. So now let's get these back onto this grill, because we're going to tighten them up just a little bit and sauce them. Alright, now these have been back on the grill for about 5 minutes. Now we're going to sauce them. Now I'm going to sauce as much as I can here. We're going to close the lid, 3 minutes. Open it back up, flip them, sauce the other side, 3 minutes, then we're going to pull them off. Here we go, it's plated up. We're going to add a little bit of parsley to give it a little color, make it look nice, and honestly, I can't wait to dig in. Here we are, the moment of truth. I've been waiting all day for this, man. Look, there's a nice crust on the outside of these. There's a beautiful smoke ring in there. They're nice and juicy. This smells amazing. Tastes even better. Now, if you haven't already and you want to subscribe, click here. Check out this playlist for some other recipes I have on the channel, and YouTube thinks that this is the video you may want to watch next. Either way, click on one of those and I'll see you there.